See, I had a great intro when we didn't really go live. I was seamless. When things would go wrong, just shut down the computer.
Yep.
And then restart it.
Start it over.
And it works. It's The Hang with Mike and Matt.
I don't know if we've ever had an episode where the intro goes smooth.
I don't think we have.
100%. It's kind of like the thing, though.
It's the thing. And I was like so proud. I was like, bam, bam, bam. Mike and Matt hanging. I look over and go, no, we're not.
Dude, we need to think about it the opposite. Embrace that it's...
Embrace it.
There's a little... Look, at the beginning of each episode, there's going to be a little bit of an issue. It's fine.
Donna was talking about that the other day. She goes, I listen to podcasts, and the guy will get up in the middle and say his dog's barking and walk away. And I was like, exactly. Nobody cares. Those things are out the window.
This is life, man.
This is life. This is the hang. We're just hanging. We're not professionals.
Dude,
we're just hanging.
It's so funny you say that, and not to already get on a segue, but I was watching a video of Patrice O'Neal, an old skit of his, and
brilliant.
Yeah, he was great, and he was in a radio studio in like 1998 or something like that. And it took me back because in the studio they had the CD walls, right? Everything's in the CD shells, and I'm going, I haven't seen a radio studio like that with actual stuff. You know what I mean? With stuff.
There's nothing in it.
It's just it's
all digital.
Yeah, it's all digital. It's a box, and I'm going. I could listen to what Patrice was saying, but I was canceling him out. I'm just going. I'm looking at the old radio studio. I'm going, oh, look at that! It's a reel-to-reel machine. Like all these little things.
Good old days.
Yeah, the good old days.
Cart machines.
Carts. Yeah, fire off the carts in order. All that little stuff.
The whole show was old school. We would be the last in the industry to embrace the mini disc, and then the CDs, and then I guess the digital was the final. But we were always lagging behind. We had carts, way past anybody else.
Mini disc, everybody always thought was going to be the next thing.
No,
there was another laser disc. When Laserdisc came out for like movies and stuff like that,
the Blu-ray kind of
not Blu-ray.
No, I don't even.
Laserdisc was. I don't even know what Laserdisc was. It was just. It looked like a record. I think.
Yeah, I think it was a big ass thing, right?
And you had movies on there, right? Yeah, big ass thing. Yeah, and you had to have a Laserdisc player. But then that phased out. But then they went opposite, and they go, all right, well now we're doing mini discs. So everything got smaller, and then mini discs didn't really catch on, and then
the mini disc.
Got the mini discs.
And I have to get my little mini disc player and plug it into the board.
I think I threw away like 3 mini disc players because I was like, I'm never going to use these again.
Ever.
I should have brought them over here. I didn't know you still have the mini discs.
I would have bought it from you. I could use a nice mini disc player.
There's no need to buy the player from me. I would just happily say, here's a mini disc player.
I got some Christmas lights I would be willing to trade.
Barter?
To trade for that. We were talking right before the show. We were talking. I don't know why we were talking about Ned, but I was talking about how Ned could the real Ned, like the real fake Ned, couldn't.
Yeah, you have to preface it with the real fake Ned.
He was the real fake Ned, and he could not imitate Ned to save his life, and he traveled all around the country, talking to people in a nod Ned voice, because he could, Bub was like, "Don't say anything."
Yeah,
but he could, he couldn't resist it because he was getting all these props.
Yeah, he was getting accolades everywhere he went. Yeah,
accolades up the ass.
And he had that car.
Oh God,
what was it? What was that car? It was like a Cruella de Vil style.
I can't believe I can't think of it.
Oh my God!
I mean, it was constant. People always talking about it.
Yes, it was the only. Yes,
Ned's
how do we
Excalibur.
not? The Excalibur. He had an Excalibur. And
it's a ridiculous looking car.
On the air, it sounded like a rib, right? It sounds like a joke, like, oh, this guy's going to be driving around an Excalibur, and you almost would think it's not true. But then the real fake Ned had an Excalibur, and that's what he would drive around in. And
this looks just like Ned's Excalibur, the white one.
Who made the Excalibur?
I don't agree to any of this.
You have to agree to the cookies. You have no choice.
I'm not agreing to the cookies.
You will agree to the cookies.
I'm not agreeing to the cookies.
Well, then guess what? You're not going to read the article.
I'm not. I'm just going to show this picture right here. I can suck it. All right,
Look
here.
at that car.
This is, it's got the horn like the old-fashioned.
Oh, that's.
And I don't know if his was like a real
Do you think he had a kit car?
That's what everybody used to
We used to joke about
joke
it.
about his kit car.
But
I don't know if it was real or not.
I don't know who's building out a kit car of an Excalibur, because you still, like, if you're going to have a kit for an Excalibur, you might as well have an Excalibur.
I don't know. And
That
he
is-
used to drive around while the show was going on. The show's live in Tampa and various other syndicated markets. Just, we're kicking ass, going live. Ned's on the air, but not really. Ned's driving around. And
Collecting free stuff.
that was his mission, was to get free stuff and go into places and go, I'm Ned, and they'd be like, you don't sound like Ned. It's like, well, you sound different on the radio. And they're like, well, you're on the air right now. And he's like, I tape everything beforehand. So he had it down.
He had the spiel. And the best part is you couldn't refute that he was Ned or not, because he was the picture of. He's the picture.
He's the picture.
So yeah, there was no argument to be made. The Excalibur.
Excalibur.
That and that car that we talked about weeks ago have to be two of the El Camino. The El Camino and the Excalibur have to be two of the most original looking vehicles that had. Well, the El Camino had functionality. The Excalibur, is this like a poor man's Rolls Royce, or what was the idea?
I think it's not like a poor man's whatever.
It is a poor man's.
Poor
Yeah,
man's
you don't
Rolls
really
Royce.
know
It's
what
not-
it is.
It's like a Great Gatsby kind of car. I mean, it's not even like a.
Yeah, I feel like
It's a throwback.
Like a mobster is going to do like some sort of 1940s like hit on you or something. Pull up in that thing and just blah, 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 and then drive off.
He said it was heavy as heck. He ran into Brooke Hogan with that Excalibur. Almost totaled her car because it weighs 10,000 pounds. Okay. Classic Excalibur for sale, 1990, 198,000.
Yeah, I mean,
God damn.
Now they're classics. You notice how that
Yeah,
goes?
it takes a long time.
Takes a long time, and all of a sudden, if you're just willing to hang on to an old car, it doesn't matter what it is for the most part. If you're just willing to just hold on to it through all the trials and tribulations and just keep it garage kept, eventually
It'll
it
be
becomes a
worth something.
classic.
It'll be worth something.
Yeah.
I could never keep a car in good enough shape for it to be worth anything.
Well, and you don't really care. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm the least caring man in America. Easily satisfied.
How dirty is your truck right now?
It's not
filthy?
It's not too bad. I mean, it's certainly, the carpets have never been vacuumed. I mean, it's not clean, but I don't have trash piled up.
And you're
in
not
it.
like spilling stuff in there, right? Like if you
No,
spilled something, are you the guy that will clean it up,
I
or you're
will-
like,
yeah.
whatever?
I'm not that bad.
Okay.
I'll clean it up.
Okay.
So yeah, but other than that, I haven't washed a car since I probably was a teenager. I'm telling you. I was 17 and I had a Camaro and I'm out there waxing and washing it. And
Whoa, you had a Camaro?
it was old. My parents got me a.
No,
it was like
sir,
five to 8
it's a
years.
classic.
It was a classic. I wish I had that car. See, that's what I should have hung on to that one.
Can you pull up a picture of what your?
Oh, I can't. I wish I could remember.
Do you remember what year it was?
What year would that be?
Because I'm curious what.
I have no idea what year. I'm gonna just throw one out here. Let's see. No, that's too old.
That's too old.
So it must be a little bit.
Either
I'm
way,
getting close. I'm getting close.
Either way, that's like a real muscle car, right? Like you had a muscle
It
car.
wasn't really a muscle car.
It
was
looks-
a
it
six.
has a
It was a
look of a-
6-cylinder.
But nobody
I think
knew it.
I think one more year and I got it.
Did people know it was a 6? Like, did you pull up to
Oh,
stoplights
yeah,
and people would challenge you?
Yeah, and I would just like go.
Would you?
Just go, man.
I'm not here to race.
It's not happening. I think it's pretty close to this one. That's still. I think I'm going
Okay.
1980.
Look, whatever cylinder is that's a pretty cool looking car. At that time, I would think that's you had to be the shit.
Pretty close to this. Like this one over here.
Oh, that looks like a vehicle you'd see in a TV show.
Pretty close to that.
Man, I haven't seen one of those on the road in a very long time.
I had no game, so no one cared about my Camaro.
You had
no game at all.
But you had long hair at the time, right?
Oh, not quite. No, I didn't have long hair till I was in my mid to late 20s.
Were you a musician at this time?
Nope, I was not.
What
I
were
was
you
living
doing
at home
with a Camaro?
Probably going to USF.
Okay.
And nobody paying me any attention because I was super shy. Super duper shy. Thank God I came out of my shell, Matt.
I know. Imagine if you had that Camaro.
Oh, my God.
With the long hair, being in a band.
Flowing with the T-tops off.
Yeah.
I always wanted a Trans Am, the Burt Reynolds style, smoking the. I thought that was the baddest looking car.
Those were pretty sweet
With
looking.
the eagle, the black with the eagle on the front, on the hood.
In all fairness, I feel like that car was before my time, but I still know about it. Like, I wasn't old enough to drive when those were around in that style, but I remember seeing Burt Reynolds, like a picture of him in it, and I'm like,
That's cool.
that thing's pretty sweet
That's
looking.
pretty sweet
Like,
looking.
you can't argue with that vehicle, you know. Now,
Then I moved on to a Chrysler K car when I got married. Oh my
K
God, it's the
car?
cheesy. It's like the boxiest, shittiest sedan that you'd ever see in your life. And then we went through a lot. When you're poor, you tend to go through cars because you can't afford. It's got a cracked manifold. All right, well just keep it. I can't. There's nothing I can do about it, buddy. I'm not picking it up. I got $20 in the bank.
dude, I've been through many cars myself, and I think back and I go, what all, 90% stupid purchases. Like vehicles, I don't know if people, people know that it's a dumb purchase, right? People know it. It's well researched. Everybody knows, don't buy a new vehicle. It's going to depreciate, all the stuff. And you can tell somebody a million times.
I want that new car, man.
They still want
I
the new
that
car.
new car.
Myself included. Like, for some reason, it's like, yeah, but... And then you start rationalizing in your brain, like, but I deserve it. I work hard. And then, but it's so stupid.
Plus, you get that warranty. And usually for the first couple of years, and you got that brand new car, and you don't have to worry about anything. It's so nice because, like Donna and I, it was always something, something wrong with the car, always, and you didn't have the money, and it didn't have a warranty.
Yeah.
Then you get that first new car, and you're like, yeah, a little freedom.
Yeah.
We got a Saturn, I think was our first new car. Saturn.
Ooh, I remember the Saturns.
That was like $12,000. $12,000.
Hold on, let me give you a throwback.
Brand new.
Let me give you a throwback. Remember the Daewoo that came out?
Yeah, the Daewoo.
Daewoo. Woo. And that lasted like 4 or 5 years or something with a Daewoo. Now, I saw a Daewoo, it was probably a couple of years ago
I haven't
now.
ever seen one in
That's the thing.
15 years.
I was looking, I saw it, I go, that's a Daewoo. How is that thing still driving and functional at all? Like that.
Made in Korea, right?
I don't know where it was.
I think it was made in Korea.
That was an interesting vehicle at the time, the Daewoo.
Daewoo.
It was like a poor man's Saturn, right?
Woo. No, I think it was better. Well, I think it was a little higher. I don't know. My Saturn was great.
Like I look at cars now, like companies that used to be considered, in the car world, like a Hyundai or a Kia. I feel like those used to be kind of on the lower tier.
Yeah. And
I got to tell you, I think those vehicles are great looking now. And like a Kia has like 100,000-mile warranty, and I don't see anything wrong. Like I can't pick, like before you could take those vehicles and you could kind of pick them apart for being chintzy or something like that. Now I don't see it. Now they all seem like great vehicles to me.
what's a high end Kia? Is it the Sorento?
Sorrento's pretty good. They have an electric
Elantra?
one. They have an electric one that actually it looks good. It's called like an EV5 or something.
I mean, Kias look pretty good. Let's see. This is the Kia Electric.
Yeah.
Let me get an image.
Like to the point where I saw them on the road, I'm going, what the hell is that thing? And it's a Kia. I'm like, all right.
That ain't a Kia.
That's a Kia.
That's a Kia?
Yeah.
It looks very very
Well, I don't know about that.
muskish.
That might be some sort of futuristic
It's a closer look at the
concept car or something.
Yeah, I think that might be a concept.
That first one up there, that one's the
See,
electric.
that's a nice looking car.
Yeah. I used to have an endorsement with the Hyundai dealership. Or Hyundai? I don't even know what it is.
I say Hyundai, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
And they would trade me out of those cars every 3,000 miles. And I loved them. I love that car to death. Every single one of them. The Tucson, they had then they came out with that little, it was called like the Sportster or something like that. I don't know, little ass, but you'd zip around in it.
I used to drive big. I always had a truck and stuff.
Yep.
Then I started getting those Rob Elder cars, and somebody said they give me a little one. I'm like, man, this It's just night and day, man. You can haul ass in these little
It's
cars.
kind of sweet.
You can park them. I got to about park my truck in the back. I ain't squeezing in with a freaking truck.
Me with those little Hondas or whatever car you're gonna get, those little little Sportsters, they ruled. And I told my wife, I go, I kind of want to buy one of these. She goes, it wasn't in a snobby way. She was just like, I don't think that's a good thing for you. I'm like, why? She's like, that's not really a grown man's car. That's like a first car, a second, not like an established guy's car. I'm going, I don't care. Like, that thing rules. And I don't know. But it would be kind of weird to be a grown adult in some of the cars.
I mean, you see people like in Mini Coopers, and I just shake my head. I'm like,
there you go. Yeah. Like, as a grown man in a Mini Cooper, not really the best.
Or one of the Scion. What are they? Scion? The Cube.
Scion. Yeah. The Cube.
Yeah. No. Did you have one?
No. but we got that as a vehicle when we got in an accident or whatever. And it was so much fun. And we're going, this thing's great. And then, it just kind of, I don't know.
And then people started looking at you when you get out of your Scion. That's a grown man in there.
Yeah. Well, it isn't, I don't know. It's sad that we have to cave like that to society, though, on some level.
Yeah, I don't cave too much, but sometimes I do, and stuff like that.
I mean, you got a big truck. You got a nice, masculine truck.
I wouldn't have that truck if I didn't, I got to haul hay and stuff. I have to have a truck.
What would your preferred car be? I know you don't care because you don't have a dream car.
I do have a dream car. I'm shocking you. I'm sure you're shocked.
Yes.
And it's not much of a dream car. But when I was from Elder Ford, I got a brand new, supercharged Taurus.
Okay.
And that thing it didn't look, like the old Ford Tauruses are ridiculous looking.
You used to have a Ford Taurus.
I know.
I remember
it looked so stupid.
Your beige Ford Taurus.
Yeah, it's that base model. It had nothing in it. But that thing would haul ass. And it was black. I loved that car. Back then it was $50,000. I was whoa. That's $50,000 is nothing now.
Which is, how crazy is that? It's still, to me, in my mind, it's still $50,000. And other people in society are going, it's only $50,000. Like, it's not really, I'm going, that's $50,000. I still equate it to
still
90s prices or whatever.
Half a house. It's half a house.
Yes.
That's what I equate it to. 50 G's. That blows my mind. That nowadays that's a steal. I get that brand new Taurus for 50 G's. That's a steal.
It's so, and meanwhile, again, it's such a depreciating asset.
It is. It's
the second you drive it off lot, and you know it, and you still do it. People still do it.
I like that Taurus though. It's the only car really.
You gotta get that Taurus.
So if if I hit the lotto and be multi-millionaire, what are you doing? I'm going to buy a Taurus.
You gotta buy it. Yeah, get that Taurus supercharged.
Yeah. Just buy used cars now. That's it's like you say, it's why would you buy it? Donna's, I got Donna, I don't know, I'd be walking if I was single. Donna will scour the internet for weeks.
Yeah.
Because everything's it's all dealers now.
Yeah.
They pretend to be people, but they're on the internet selling cars. It looks like it's front of somebody's house.
All the bots.
But then but so she'll find one, that's someone who's taking care of it. And she'll snatch it up. So
you always got to find, at least this is the tip that I've heard. You're supposed to find, well, not necessarily for cars for modern day, but it was like Grand Marquis, right? Grand Marquis was like the old person's car.
Yep.
So
my mom has one. She's 91.
Oh, okay, all right.
And she still has it.
All right. Then I don't mean to talk ill. But it's that thing of
she's 91. She's got a Marquis.
Yeah, you would see the estate sales, and you would see a Marquis for sale, and you're going, you can go pick that up and make them a terrible, stupid offer because it's in some sort of family trust or something, and they're just trying to offload and everything. So you could go get it, and then you'd find that 16, 17-year-old kid driving a Grand Marquis because somebody dropped dead. And they got it at a deal.
Granddaddy's car.
Yeah, it was just kind of the way it...
Grand Marquis. I used to drive a Chevy too. I got that car from my granddad. It's a 66 box It was made like out of iron.
Oh my God.
But it was so heavy.
Yeah.
You know, that you could hit it with like a hammer. It wouldn't dent it. But you open up the hood, and you could fit like 3 immigrants in there.
There's probably 5 in there.
If maybe 5. So much room. I'm not very much of a mechanic, but if I wanted to replace the water pump, I could practically climb in there and just replace the water pump. Now they cover the entire engine with plastic, so you can't even get. They don't want you working on it.
Giant. Yeah, it's just a giant cover, right? And then you got to rip the cover off, and then it exposes everything, and you go, oh, here's all the pieces.
And you
parts.
still can't get to it. Still can't get to it.
Okay, so that's why I not to shill Teslas or anything, but that's where I do enjoy and appreciate the Tesla is like fluids, right? There's one fluid. It's
what's the fluid?
Windshield wiper. That's it. That's the only fluid. Like you don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
And your car tells you it's low, and I go okay, and I dump some in there. Like it does have a battery.
Do you have a drone that fills your wiper fluid, Matt?
No, but my battery went dead this past week. Not like the big one that runs the car.
Yeah,
they've got the smaller one that runs some of the
stuff. Accessories.
Exactly, all the stuff. And they're like, "Hey, car's still going to work, but if you want it to, you got to get this battery replaced." I'm like, "Okay." So I schedule service on there. Dude comes out to my house. It replaces it, tops off the fluid, fills my tires up, in and out in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
$120. And I'm going, that's to me the difference, because if left to my own devices of me having to go find a place to get a battery repaired that's easy 8 hours of my day, because that's how I am, right? Like that
it has to be Tesla though, right? They have other places.
I don't even know.
Couldn't
tell you. But I guess my point is, like any other car, to go get a battery, it seems like a whole to do. The fact that they came out to the house and actually did it, and everything was done in 20 minutes. I was like, all right, that's pretty sweet.
I could deal with that.
Yeah, that's nice.
The worst. Going to the mechanic it's a nightmare.
Well, because you're going to get sold on, or they're going to try to sell you on something else. You went there for the battery, and yet you're leaving with this list of to-dos.
Yeah, it's like, and then it ends up being about $1,200 what they want.
Yeah.
It's like, I never do any of it. I never, it's like, I don't trust, if you can finally find a good mechanic, it's like, you gotta stick with him, because I don't trust anybody.
I don't even know of a good mechanic. I couldn't tell you for the life of me of a good mechanic in terms of somebody
Honest.
who's, like been around for 50 years. Because the little guys have been screwed out of business. So what, you're going to go with these conglomerates eventually, one of the Tire Kingdoms of the world or any of that stuff.
Well, yeah, what are they all about?
Yeah.
Getting your money.
Like, I don't know, man. It's a weird thing to try to find a mom and pop mechanic. I couldn't even tell you where one is.
Right down the street. You know where... Okay, if you go out Livingston to 54 to come to the
Let's not give away our location. Jeez.
Did I?
You're giving away our location.
Oh, okay.
For our secret broadcast bunker.
Shh. Nobody, because I haven't given it away before, Matt.
Oh.
And in 5 years, it's the first time I've given it away.
Oh, okay. This is not new. Anybody listening knows exactly where we're at.
Wizzillo Bizzin Automotive.
Wop-I double oppo wop.
Yep.
All right.
They're actually have done stuff for us and haven't charged us, an arm and a leg.
That's good to know.
So I think they're legit. I don't know. It's hard to and I don't know. I probably know more about cars than most people nowadays, because nobody knows shit.
Yeah.
But I don't, guys, whatever they say, I just have to take it at face value. What do you got? Show me. Let me get under the car. I don't.
Exactly. Yeah.
And all they have to do would be replace it anyway, the faulty one. Know.
Okay. So correct me if I don't know if I'm getting. I don't know if I'm becoming an old guy or if this is cool or not. But I used to hate Corvette guy. Okay. I don't like Corvette guy. I'm not Corvette guy.
Yeah.
But the new Corvette.
Oh, I haven't seen the new Corvette.
Is to me, it came out like a couple years ago, so it's it's same sort of design, but it looks like much like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, kind of exotic looking, right?
Yeah.
Got some style to it.
Does it have still like a Jaguar? Now it doesn't really resemble.
You mean a Ford?
Yeah, pretty much. It doesn't resemble the classic Jaguar.
No.
Sedano's like, I don't know. She always liked the Jaguar. I hate saying that word.
Like the old porn star Jaguar.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. The old Boogie Nights Jaguar.
The classic. And then they changed. She's like, I don't want a Jaguar anymore.
She wanted the old school?
Yeah, or at least the modern one to keep, you can still keep the hint of the original design.
There's an appreciation for an old Jaguar.
There is. That's a nice ass car.
But the Corvette guy, I've never wanted to be Corvette guy until the new Corvette came out. I was like,
you're gonna be Corvette guy.
I wish I could be Corvette guy. I mean, it's like
what year? I mean, what? Well, just go 224.
Oh yeah, because it hasn't changed.
Or is it 2025?
Yeah, no,
right. Usually a couple years ahead.
I personally think
it's a freaking Lamborghini,
right?
I mean,
like that to me is not. It's no longer a Corvette. Like that's not.
Are they getting sued by Lamborghini? I mean, right?
All right. So, in all fairness, would that make me Corvette guy, or that doesn't make me Corvette guy? Because it's still a vet. I get it, but I don't feel like it falls into the realm of Corvette guy.
Yeah, that's almost. It's so different than that classic Corvette is it's distinctive.
Yes, we'll use that word. Distinctive. Not douchey.
It's trying to be diplomatic.
Distinctive.
And this looks nothing like a Corvette. Right?
I think so.
It doesn't.
I mean, isn't that kind of cool looking?
No, that looks nice.
I mean, I can't afford it, but if I could.
That's nice. See what they got? They got a black one. No, they don't have it black.
Oh, they've got black.
What I want. Oh,
look at that thing.
Look at that.
Come on, bro. Looks like the Batmobile.
That's pretty badass.
You changing your mind on that supercharged Taurus?
Yeah, I am. Corvette? I bet this is a pain in the ass to get into. I'll go with the Taurus.
Dude.
More leg room.
I bought a Lotus back, I don't know, probably 2005 or 6 or something like that. And the Lotus, it was actually the original Tesla design that Elon Musk built was on the Lotus frame, right? And the Lotus, I loved it. It was such a lightweight vehicle, and it was really sweet. But part of the reason I bought it was I walked into a dealership, and they snubbed me. And I was like, oh, you motherfucker. They got me with that trick.
They probably did it on purpose.
They got me with the psychological trick of going,
this guy can't afford it.
Yeah, they poofed me.
Piff.
Yeah, piff. And I was like, oh, okay. And I wrote them a check right then and there for my down payment.
And they all laughed when you left.
That's what I'm thinking. But in that moment in time, I was like, these mother. And so now, like through life, I have to be very careful. I go, oh, they're dismissing me. And then it's like, no, let them dismiss you. It's okay. It's okay. Be dismissed. It's fine.
Yep.
You've never done that before? I don't think you're that kind of guy who would. But like,
no, but
somebody give you a look or say something, and you're going, oh, okay, fuck you.
I'm sure I've been dismissed many times in my life, but I can't remember.
Because now I turn and walk away. Now if somebody says something that's kind of weird or off-putting, like I will literally just turn around and walk away.
Yeah, I don't think I'm not going to respond to anybody on Twitter, hopefully, ever again.
Oh, no. Are you still doing the Twitter thing?
No, I stopped. Like I told you, I think,
Yeah, but you told me you were going to reach out to Shannon
But
Burke.
I forgot to do that.
Oh, okay. So,
but I'm not like, I don't even look, I don't even.
So you're off the social, Twitter.
No, I mean, I'll post that we did the show, or I might post something that's just a post or retweet something, but I'm not replying to people like, hey, you dumbass mother. I'm not doing that.
You're not in a zing fest anymore?
Not zinging anymore because it's empty zings. I've never zinged anybody on Twitter where they went, man, you really got me.
Yeah.
Never, not one, because nobody's going to admit you got zinged.
Nobody's going to admit defeat. Like if you're in a face-to-face roast battle and everybody knows that person got roasted, then they go, okay, and the crowd goes, oh, and then it naturally takes its course. in X or Twitter or whatever, yeah, the Zingfest can never end and nobody's going to admit defeat.
No.
So it's
I've said it before. It's like if you were like somewhat of a jackass know-it-all, and you're out at the bar or you're out with your friends playing poker, you're gonna say something, and people are gonna go bullshit, and the whole table's gonna go bullshit.
They're gonna call you on
just
it.
like you were saying, and you would get called on it. So sometimes you wouldn't even say that shit because you knew you'd get called on it. There's no recourse. You just say it, and people who believe the same way you do say yeah, and they like it. And the people who disagree with you, you're like, well, you're wrong. Look at all these people who agree with me.
Yeah.
It's insanity.
Insanity. The current one that I'm very interested in is the whole Tucker Carlson thing with the Vladimir Putin interview. I watched the 4.5 minutes of Tucker teeing up the interview.
Oh, I have that. I didn't know you saw it. I was going to ask your opinion of it.
Oh my God!
Because I haven't even seen it.
By all means, if you've got it,
yeah, we play it?
Yeah, for sure. And again, I haven't seen the actual interview or anything. I don't even know if it's been posted yet. As of this moment, I'm not sure.
He was interviewing him today or tonight.
He already did it, I think. I don't exactly know all the timeline.
Yeah, I don't either.
But I feel like it's interesting how people are how the media and how. I don't know. How would you say it? These America are treating this, like
how are the I don't know, how are the Americas treating it?
So you've got a couple different like factions, right? You've got this, you got the some people that are going, he shouldn't be over there interviewing him. How dare he? He's a traitor. He's not American. But the problem is they're hearing that, and I feel like they're repeating it from the left. That are saying, well, he should not be over there interviewing. Like, it's almost like the extreme right have globbed on to the left's ideology. Meanwhile, in my opinion, the proper way of thinking is to say, hey, look, freedom of speech. I'm interested to what Putin. It doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but I'm sure as fuck interested in what this interview is going to be and how it's going to be conducted and his responses. That's it. Why shouldn't you be able to do that as a journalist?
You should. In my opinion, anytime they're vehemently against you doing something,
something's up.
It's because it's the truth.
Yeah.
They don't ever want the truth out there. And if you're still a believer in the news is the truth, you need to really get with the program because the news is 100% bullshit.
Right. It's like when CNN is telling me now that it's a terrible idea for Tucker Carlson to interview Putin and this should not be happening and we should be outraged. That's my cue to go, something's not passing the sniff test here. I think something's perfectly fine. Like I have to take CNN's stance and completely flip it on its head and go, I need to think the exact opposite of them because they like to do this. And it could be the same with Fox or MSNBC.
Any news outlet, that's what they do. They just spin their narrative, and that's all they care about is spinning their narrative because they can't be caught. They just got to brainwash people, and that keeps them coming back.
I need it to be opposite day. And that's what I think when I'm looking at this stuff. So
you've seen cases of right wing dare kind of America people, criticizing this because all I've seen is the left. So that's shocking because Tucker's big in with Trump.
Mm-hmm.
He's anti what's going on in the Democratic Party and the government right now. So, but they can't wrap their mind around it because he's the enemy. But you wouldn't think the dares would be even supporting
I'm not
the
going to say
Ukrainian war.
I'm not going to say it's a large portion of it, right? But I've just seen some stuff, right? Like not a but it's weird to see even one far right leaning person go, he shouldn't be interviewing Vladimir Putin. Even one.
Especially when they're going, CNN is right.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's almost like it's filtered down in a way that's been very strange. It's like they got to They got to a couple deers, and I don't know how they did it.
I know they're good because they're really good at manipulating people.
Yeah, they just beat the crap out of the message.
It's like I'm always gonna err on the side of free speech, and that has nothing to do with any party affiliation, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm with you,
but I don't think
that's completely a bipartisan issue.
It should be. Here we go. Here's Tucker talking about interviewing Vlad.
We're in Moscow tonight. We're here to interview the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin. We'll be doing that soon. There are risks to conducting an interview like this, obviously, so we thought about it carefully over many months. Here's why we're doing it. First, because it's our job. We're in journalism. Our duty is to inform people.
You see, people really hate Tucker. He's got a lot of haters.
Sure.
He's very popular, but he's got a ton of hate. They really detest him. Like, he's scum. To them, he's scum of the earth.
And for him to do this.
And it just blows my mind because, I feel like I know the guy pretty well. We talk to him like once a week for like an hour at a time for a year or so. We talked to the guy a lot. He came into the studio one time. I've seen him on videos where he interacts with the public, and he never is a dick at all. And I watch this goddamn show because that's the last cable news show I watched. I don't watch it anymore. I just get it on the internet because he'd be doing this shit. I was like, everybody hates him, but I agree with 100% of what he's saying. He's dead balls on. He's very intelligent. He's the best journalist out there, I think, and people hate him.
Well, and I'll agree in the sense of for those people that hate him, he comes across smarmy.
He does. He's
and
very
that's
smart.
Probably his biggest fault. But is that a big enough fault to completely negate everything that he's doing and everything he's saying, all the stuff that's being told, even if you don't agree with it? It has to be said. It has to be. So I agree with you, and I feel the same way you do. Where it's like he doesn't seem like he's not an evil journalist. I mean, for God's sake, the guy got canned, and he's now doing this. And I mean, as you'll see in the clip, he's not I guess you just kind of have to play it. But I also think it's interesting in this clip how the wording of his entire speech here is very careful to where it's very tough for somebody to pick it apart. I think it's completely thought out in a way that
all his arguments are very well. He's to me, he's a master debater.
Yeah,
I can't imagine anyone beating him in a debate. I almost feels if I may have to throw the dogs a bone as they are whining.
Let them.
Okay, let them whine.
2 years into a war that's reshaping the entire world, most Americans are not informed. They have no real idea what's happening in this region, here in Russia or 600 miles away in Ukraine.
See, 100% true. Americans have no idea.
But they should know. They're paying for much of it in ways they might not fully yet perceive. The war in Ukraine is a human disaster. It's left hundreds of thousands of people dead, an entire generation of young Ukrainians, and it's depopulated the largest country in Europe. But the long-term effects are even more profound. This war has utterly reshaped the global military and trade alliances.
He's so far over people's heads.
It's not. Yes, but it's not. I don't think it's. If you're a noob, I think you could still grasp the concept of what he's saying, and he even said it's not he was very careful to say. Not a disaster, it's a human disaster. The word human, by putting that in front of disaster, if he had just said the war in Ukraine is a disaster, people would have picked that to shreds, right?
And people don't know that hundreds of thousands of people have been slaughtered.
It's a human disaster.
It's a meat grinder for money and power and all. It's not about for what it's really about.
We're not getting political, are we?
Oh, let's go back. Yeah, we're playing Tucker Carlson. Let's go back to Tucker. Let's get away from this politics, Matt.
Yeah, let's play
Matt,
Tucker
let's go back
Carlson.
to Tucker.
And the sanctions that followed have as well. And in total, they have upended the world economy. The post-World War II economic order, the system that guaranteed prosperity in the West for more than 80 years, is coming apart very fast, and along with it, the dominance of the U.S. dollar.
Scaring me now. He's scaring me.
Yeah.
If the dollar actually does not, it stops being the reserve currency of the world, we start heading into third world status. That it takes away all our power. Nobody's going to give a shit about nothing we do.
It's true, and a lot of folks don't understand the value in having the U.S. dollar as the reserve currency.
And I don't really understand it. It's been explained to me, and when they explain it, I'm like, yeah, that's true, and yeah, when it happens, that's going to be bad.
This is
But
where I
can't-
shill Bitcoin. You see.
I might have to get in on some of that Bitcoin.
These are not small changes. They are history-altering developments. They will define the lives of our grandchildren. Most of the world understands this perfectly well. They can see it. Ask anyone in Asia or the Middle East what the future looks like. And yet the populations of the English-speaking countries seem mostly unaware. They think that nothing has really changed. And they think that because no one has told them the truth. Their media outlets are corrupt. They lie to their readers and viewers. And they do that mostly by omission. For example, since the day the war in Ukraine began, American media outlets have spoken to scores of people from Ukraine, and they have done scores of interviews with Ukrainian President Zelensky. We ourselves have put in a request for an interview with Zelensky, and we hope he accepts. But the interviews he's already done in the United States are not traditional interviews. They are fawning pep sessions specifically designed to amplify Zelensky's demand that the U.S. enter more deeply into a war in Eastern Europe.
See, it's so obvious, that Zelensky's like this huge puppet. The whole war is a big sham, and it's people are making money hand over fist, and they're just drained to the taxpayers. But nobody's going to say it like he says it and explain it as good as he explains it.
Yeah, and if you don't really understand what he's saying here, and I don't think this is too far over anybody's head.
I think he's doing a good job.
But if it is too far over your head and you can't grasp this concept, whether you agree or disagree, don't vote. Don't do anything. Don't taint the pool.
And the thing is, in this, okay, so he's 2 minutes and 17 seconds into it.
Yep.
He hasn't said a partisan thing yet. He has not said one. He's just giving an overview. He hasn't said anything, all he said is facts.
The only thing I don't like thus far is when he talks about the media is corrupt. And every journalist seems to do this after they get canned.
Yeah, exactly.
They always do the mea culpa, and they're like going, oh, well, the media is corrupt. It's like, you were a part of that. And now, granted, Tucker was on the fringes. He was still unafraid to, for the most part, to say his opinion on things and do stories that maybe Fox News would have differed with, right? But at the same time, damn well Tucker at some point caved to the system he was in.
You have to.
Yeah. So for him to say the media is corrupt, that's fine and good. It's fine and good to say now when you're not getting paid by him. It makes him no different than a politician or a lobbyist at that point.
I'm trying. You see. Yeah. Well, does it? But it's like, yeah. Because I've done it too. It's like,
we all have.
Well,
We're all hypocrites.
If you're in the media, you do whatever they tell you to not say. You don't say because you want to keep your job.
Yep.
Even if you're like, well, I should be able to say that, or I believe in that. I can't see it.
I told you this before. I'm so ashamed to have been a member of the media and to have been a part of the things that I've been a part of in this career. It is disgusting. The stuff that we were a party to, and the stuff that we had to go along with, and the stuff that we had to portray and put out there for public consumption, it is fucking disgusting what we had to do, and we were a part of it. And I get sick to my stomach thinking about it every day.
Wow, I forgot about it long ago.
All right, maybe not every day.
Still upset
occasionally
about Macho Man.
Right, a perfect example.
Should have done that.
Lowest level of something. But it is. I mean, if you're a media member, you can't be proud of what you're doing. If you're working at one of these local TV networks or even one of these conglomerates, whatever it may be, you can't go home at night and go, man, really glad I gave a fair and balanced view of that story tonight. You can't feel good about that shit you're doing. Yeah, you're cashing the check, but there's no way. I just can't. I can't wrap my head around a journalist going, Yep, that was awesome tonight. That story on puppy dogs who like surfboards, that was great.
Yeah.
Great journalism.
See, I don't know if I could do that. I mean, even like maybe I guess if you're talking millions of dollars, I'd do it. I'd probably do anything. But I've been very fortunate because even on our show, we probably said more than anybody else about how things really are back on the old show. Because nobody says nothing. And corporate radio, it takes.
But we were also shilling things that weren't always the case. So what made us?
I don't.
There's a lot of things.
Give me something I shilled because I didn't shill a lot, but everything I went along with everything.
You would go along with it. Well, your thing is you would piggyback on top of it with a song or something like that, or a parody or a bit, and which almost it gave a comedic slant to it. But the slant is there nonetheless, right? Like there was nobody there. Like you weren't. Let's put it this way: you weren't allowed to have your own opinion. If you had your own opinion, you get yelled out of the room, right?
No.
So
you had to all had to be on the same page,
right? So if you're on the same page, now you've got a room full of people with voices and hours upon hours behind a microphone, just hitting you home with bullshit. What's going to happen eventually? If you're listening for a program for that long over that time span, you're going to start to believe the bullshit.
Yeah.
So
of course you are.
Yeah. So you could take any news story ever, Mike, that we did, and there's probably some bullshit in there. You know what I mean? Like, because there's nobody giving an objective opinion.
And y'all had to agree.
Yeah. Sorry. On a tangent.
Yeah, I'm trying. You just do what management tells you. I can remember being called into management saying, "If you ever say anything about McDonald's again,
oh yeah,
you will be fired." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's how it works."
Oh, I said something about a local newscaster. They pulled me in there. They're like, "Oh, they just dropped their buy worth 7 figures, and you need to go on air and apologize." I'm like, going, "Okay,
yeah."
And they look at me and they're going, we know it's not, we know, but you gotta. So I did. I had to apologize to this dick bag.
That's what you gotta
for
do.
him being a dick bag.
You just gotta, sometimes you gotta keep your job.
You
gotta be a hypocrite and keep your job.
Everybody's got to be a hypocrite.
I don't know. I don't know if Tucker's a psyop. Why do the powers that be let him say the things that are forbidden?
When you say powers that be, it's because he's on his own network now.
No, I'm talking about the power. Like anybody in the history of America and probably the world who's ever been a truth teller against the government, what happens to him?
Yeah.
At least they find a way to. They'd find a way to end X, to get him off if they really wanted to. So why do they let him spout this stuff about the truth?
Okay, 2 theories. One would be he's reached escape velocity to where it would seem odd and it would cause a bigger uproar if they did something, right?
Yeah. But
the second would be, let's say it's the long game and they're going, yeah, he's over there, interviewing Putin. And then, let's just say as an example, he gets sick upon his return and he mysteriously, passes away. And then what does our country do? Our country goes, they point the finger, right? Now, I know that's the likelihood of that happening. I get it. It's very small. But I'm saying that is more of a grand example of they would take this and flip it and somehow point the finger at Putin if something were to happen. False flag.
Or Tucker Carlson didn't kill himself.
Right.
You'd think.
Yeah.
They got Tucker. Well, this is people are gonna be outraged. No, it's a joke. All of them, Tucker Carlson, and they know the government killed him. Nobody cares anymore,
and nobody would be able to do anything about it.
So I think he's a tool of the government. I think they need someone out there telling the truth, so that super intelligent guys like me and you can be pacified. Because we're like, well, Tucker knows the truth.
Interesting theory.
I thought I was alone, but I've got a guy here on a national stage who's telling me exactly what's going on. does that, that's how I feel too.
Yeah.
And he's just suckering me in, and he's going to be.
So you keep that groundswell, but it's not going to bubble over because it's just that. It's
you just pacify. Because if nobody was telling the truth, you might go insane.
Yeah.
Do something rash.
Which we would never do.
No, we don't even know what the word rash means. Tucker Carlson, what is he? I can't figure him out. Because you talk to somebody as much as we talk to him. Mm-hmm. And you feel like you kind of know him a little bit.
Yeah.
And you see videos of him and you meet him in person. I'm sure people thought that about Bill Cosby. Nobody. I don't think people who'd interview Bill Cosby and talk to him all the time go, man, I think that guy's a fucking rapist. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think he puts on the
except
show.
for the people that got raped by him, and they're like, hey, wait a second, he's a rapist.
And everybody's like,
that's
Bill Cosby. Tucker, why are you so mysterious?
And pay for it. That is not journalism. It is government propaganda. Propaganda of the ugliest kind, the kind that kills people. At the same time, our politicians and media outlets have been doing this, promoting a foreign leader like he's a new consumer brand. Not a single Western journalist has bothered to interview the president of the other country involved in this conflict, Vladimir Putin. Most Americans have no idea why Putin invaded Ukraine or what his goals are now. They've never heard his voice. That's wrong. Americans have a right to know all they can about a war they're implicated in. And
that's not rocket science. That's common sense right there.
We have the right to tell them about it because we are Americans too. Freedom of speech is our birthright. We were born with the right to say what we believe. That right cannot be taken away no matter who is in the White House. But they're trying anyway. Almost 3 years ago, the Biden administration illegally spied on our text messages and then leaked the contents to their servants in the news media. They did this in order to stop a Putin interview that we were planning. Last month, we're pretty certain they did exactly the same thing once again, but this time we came to Moscow anyway. We are not here because we love Vladimir Putin.
They're not going to let Tucker back in the country. That's the gimmick.
That's the debate.
That's the gimmick. They're going to Snowden him. They're going to Snowden him. They're going to come out with something to say, if he comes back, he's getting arrested.
That's what they're trying to stir up.
Snowden. And you have a bunch of yahoos and people on the left cheering him on.
Don't get me started on Snowden. What did he do wrong?
Told the truth? You can't do that. That's the biggest sin of all. Biggest sin of all.
It's that thing of, and only until 10, 15 years down the road when people stop and think about it and look at everything that's happened and occurred, will they look back and go, hey, maybe that guy, did he do anything wrong? He was just a whistleblower? Like, so he had information and it wasn't bad? Like, he was actually trying to help people? There's that thing.
No, that's how it happens.
It takes 10 to 15 years for it to happen, and by that time, it doesn't even. It's lost its cachet.
It doesn't matter about anything. You can come out with 20, 30 years later. Like you can come out, like I don't know when it came out, but it was like the Gulf of Tonkin was a false flag, and everybody knows it, and it's proven, and that started the Vietnam War, and people are like, oh. I always wondered about that. They're not like, what?
That's
what?
Exactly right.
We killed thousands of people and our own soldiers and sent them into a meat grinder.
Instead of outrage. It becomes a fun fact.
Yeah, it's a fun fact.
It becomes a fun fact.
Fun fucking fact.
Huh. So you're telling me they didn't have weapons of mass destruction? Huh. Fun fact.
Fun fact. No WMDs. Yeah. Fun fact.
If 10, 15 years later, everything's a fun fact.
Fuck. What time is it?
I don't know, but we're going to drive ourselves insane.
Let's see. Let me see. I need another drink.
Talking about cars and
I think we got a minute left in the talk.
Hey.
I think we can finish it and then take a break. Here we go. So far, pretty interesting stuff.
We are here because we love the United States, and we want it to remain prosperous and free. We paid for this trip ourselves. We took no money from any government or group. Nor are we charging people to see the interview. It is not behind a paywall. Anyone can watch the entire thing, shot live to tape and unedited, on our website, tuckercarlson.com. Elon Musk, to his great credit, has promised not to suppress or block this interview once we post it on his platform, X, and we're grateful for that. Western governments, by contrast, will certainly do their best to censor this video on other less principled platforms because that's what they do. They are afraid of information they can't control. But you have no reason to be afraid of it. We are not encouraging you to agree with what Putin may say in this interview, but we are urging you to watch it. You should know as much as you can. And then, like a free citizen and not a slave, you can decide for yourself.
Oh, man, he's so good.
Thanks.
He's so good.
Right?
Damn,
Everything
Tucker.
was
Damn,
in there.
Tucker.
It was very well worded to you can't cherry pick any of that stuff out and make him look bad.
I'd like to, yeah, I mean, it's because the only thing partisan he said was the Biden administration spied on him and got an interview canceled. He didn't say, everything else he said was nonpartisan, just saying, hey, you listen and decide, which nobody does. You know, Fox is not saying you decide, and CNN's not saying you decide. They're telling you what to think.
Yeah.
So I think it was an excellent job.
I'm excited to watch it on my burner account, where I'm sure the government will know that I watched it, and I'm sure they'll,
Yeah.
You know how that goes.
I know. I'm afraid. A lot of times I don't comment on stuff. I'm like, why would you say that? That's going to get you nothing but on a list.
Yeah, bunch of grief.
A bunch of grief on a list, or Yes, I don't say shit about shit.
Yep.
You used to say a lot of shit, and then I used to do the show "I'm Right, You're Wrong," and it's like, man, it don't matter. It's all it's a done deal. It's a done deal. So why you want to hear me bitch about it? I got no solutions.
I know. We're just here. Look. Anybody listening? We're just here, kicking the tires on some things.
Kicking some tires.
Hey, what's the big deal?
It's like my only advice to anybody is, hey man, enjoy your life. Your family, your friends, have a good time. Enjoy your freedoms. But you're never going to get
Before we get nuked.
Before who knows what. Just, you got 250,000 people, adult males from all over the world, unidentified, coming over the border every month. America could be a shithole pretty soon. I don't know. And if it is, because the best and brightest ain't coming over here.
Then we'll become the immigrants because we're going to have to go somewhere else.
They won't
See, we're going to have to sneak over the border.
They won't let us in. Yeah. You go somewhere else, you get hauled off to jail.
I got to get a fresh passport.
Imagine just like pulling your powerboat up, to the beach and landing in China and going, I'm here. They take you right to jail.
Hey,
right to jail.
I'm here. Where's my cell phone? Hey, I was supposed to get a check in a hotel room. Where's my stuff? Come on.
We got your hotel room, Joe. Clink.
Yep. Well.
All right. Our drinks.
My cup runs dry.
All right. We got drinks.
My cup runs.
We got to get in the ice bucket. And I'm confused now. Now I got to play something. Get some fresh drinks, and we'll be right back. Let's see Let's see. Let's do Ned's song about adrenochrome.
Hey.
That's topical. Be right back. When the elites get old and need some fucking jet fuel, they grab a glass and then they grab a straw. They make a smoothie out of babies and they drink it down. I'm pretty sure it's way against the law. Adrenochrome. Just go to the clinic dumpster, soon you will be feeling younger, forming a line at the fetus buffet. Oh yeah, head down to Tijuana and bring lots of stolen cash. Nirvana is a big swig of DNA. When you're rich, but you're getting really old and wrinkled, and you want on a brand new lease on life. You know it's time to drink that sweet infant libation. Put some more dead fetus juice on ice. Adrenochrome, you got a big toddler hunger, so little Johnny gets smothered. You need a young one who is DOA. Oh yeah, throw in a ripe banana, drink it slow and make it last. You never will take my adrenochrome away. Mama, don't take my adrenochrome. Mama, don't take my adrenochrome. Mama, don't take my adrenochrome away. Mama, don't take my adrenochrome. Mama, don't take my adrenochrome. Mama, don't take my adrenochrome away. Mama, don't take my adrenochrome. Save some for the Pope in Rome. Mama, don't take my adrenochrome away. Mama, don't take my adrenochrome. That shit puts me in the zone. Mama, don't take my adrenochrome away. Mama, don't take my adrenochrome. Mama, don't take my adrenochrome away. Mama, don't take my adrenochrome. Save some for the Pope in Rome. Mama, don't take my adrenochrome away. Go play it, Paul. Tinkle those ivories. I need some adrenochrome. Please donate to the Nets. Try to buy some adrenochrome fund so I can be here for you people even longer into my 90s.
Suck our dicks! Yeah! Suck our dicks! Suck our dicks! Suck our dicks! Suck our dicks! Yeah! Suck our dicks! Suck our dicks! Suck our dicks! Suck our dicks! It just doesn't matter!
Hello, I'm Mel Tillis. You know, the country singer. You know, wild horses couldn't drag me away from the country. Aspirin tablets can be hard on the stomach. That's why I take Jolly's headache powder. I can't let a headache dictate my life. I need to run on all six pistons. Jolly's contains twice as much aspirin as ordinary powders. Mix a Jolly's headache powder in your favorite cocktail, and you're good as new. Ask for Jollies.
Welcome back to The Hang with Mike and Matt. You know, you can get this on YouTube, on Twitch videos, on Spotify, probably all major podcast platforms.
All major platforms. All of them.
And you know what?
What?
It's free.
It's free?
I mean,
what?
It's almost criminal that we're giving away this kind of stellar content for free. But, you know, we just like hanging.
Yeah, man.
We like hanging. Thanks for hanging with us. We appreciate hanging with us every Tuesday or Wednesday or Friday.
Whenever we have...
You know, we're busy men. We're movers and shakers.
That's right. Men about town.
Men about town. So, free. It's all free.
All free.
Outrageous.
All this
outrageous.
Beautiful stuff.
I'm pulling the plug right now.
Well, of course.
I'm going to quit doing this shit for free.
Well, unless people want to be on Twitch and cheer, then it's not. I mean, it is free.
It's kind of how I pay the mortgage.
Yeah. So think about that.
But a lot of we're putting it in a lot of free places.
Yes,
we're putting a lot of free places. We're generous beyond a fault with our talent. I mean,
dude, I got hit up by some podcasting people, and they're going, "Hey, we can help monetize this, and we can do some shorts and all this kind of like whole thing." And I'm going, we'll just keep doing this for now.
Kevin JK, 5,000 bits.
Hey,
He says, "You guys ain't working for free tonight.
Oh,
Go buy yourself a small cheeseburger."
oh man.
Appreciate it. What was I talking about? I forgot. I've lost everything when I saw
you were
the
telling me
5,000
how
bits.
you were telling me how cool I am. I think is what
That's
was
what I
what was
was
going
yeah, so
on.
fucking cool you
You
are.
mentioned, you were putting me over.
I mean, we're pretty cool, man. I mean, I just don't think I'm surprised. It's amazing that people can't see our coolness.
I did yeah, no, I don't. Never mind.
I want to see that Putin interview now.
I know, right?
And I'm like,
I'm so stoked about it.
it's probably up. It's got to be up. It's probably tonight, I would think.
I would think so.
Because he was doing it today, but I don't know Russian time. I don't know. None
I
of that.
literally don't know Russian time. Like, what time do you think it is in Russia right
Great
now?
question. What time is it right now?
Okay, right now, as
7:06,
we're recording this, 7:08.
Okay, in Russia, I'm gonna say it's 3 a.m. in Moscow.
3 a.m.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't even know what you type. Just Russian time? I don't know. Huh? All right, you said what?
3 a.m. in Russia.
I'm gonna go 1 a.m. And I have no idea why. Just because.
Felt good to me.
3:08.
Wow, I got a dead balls on.
Damn, bro. Look at you.
I got to think. I'm autistic, Matt.
As am I, Mike.
And I got a thing with time. Like, I always know the time. I always like to know
That's your thing?
And even when I don't know the time, I kind of know the time. But Donna will say she has no concept of time, zero.
Yeah.
And she'll say, "What time is it?" I'll say, "I don't know. It's probably like 8:30." And she'll go, "Oh, it's 8:15." She was like, "I thought it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon." I'm like, "How do you think that way?"
Okay, you and I are similar in that vein. Now, I don't know what time it is over there, but here I can sort of, I'm with you. And then when you nail it, there's some great feeling about going, yeah,
Wow.
got it.
Yeah.
Like, you're telling me,
That's-
what time is it? It's 7:10. And they go, "Oh, you're right. It's 7:10. It's like, that's right. I am man.
Stand over and taunt them.
Bitch, I told you it was 7:10.
15 yards for taunting.
Did you take the quiz, the questionnaire for the
I was going to, and then
autism?
it seemed like I had to register and pay or something. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Do you have to pay? It's like,
No.
I want to make sure it was the right thing, and I never. So I'm gonna write down the exact website.
I don't have the exact website,
Okay.
but I can tell you that it's
Text it
called
to
like,
me.
yeah, I'll text it to you. I'll find it. But yeah,
Because there was a bunch of, I didn't know what to write. I want them to get scammed. I'm not going to get. I'm so autistic. I was afraid of getting scammed. I couldn't take the test.
I told two people about this. I told my mom, and I go, "Hey, just thought I'd share this with you. Like, here's my results of this autism questionnaire and all this stuff." And I did a lot of research on it too, right? I didn't, where it's like, okay, what's the benefits of actually getting diagnosed versus not, right? So, and as an adult, if you have autism, there's really not a great benefit to getting diagnosed other than going, that explains it, right? But I can do that myself.
You're not autistic. Man.
Well, regardless, she goes, my mom goes, huh? She goes, okay. She's, when you were a kid, she goes, there was never, that word just wasn't thrown around. Nobody knew. And I go, Mom.
It didn't even exist.
Yeah. I was like, Mom, I completely agree with you. Like, totally get it. So, but she was like, interesting to know, and all that stuff. And then I told a buddy of mine, and he goes, yeah, I can see that. He goes, yeah, there's some stuff there. And I go, I don't know.
They've all been brainwashed. I've known you for a long time. I work with you every day, and I never saw one thing that made me think you were autistic.
Oh, the best way I can explain it, and I don't know how to truly explain it other than Like here, I'm fine. Like there's a different, but in my personal life, in like different situations or scenarios,
Yeah.
there's some stuff that it's just odd. Or again, pieces of a puzzle are coming together, which again, it doesn't change my daily. I don't give either way. I think it's more funny than anything.
I see what you call autism, I call quirks.
I think that's fair.
Because I got some quirks. But they're not like weird, you know. It's just like I said, we're talking about counting steps.
Yeah.
My new quirk, I don't know where it came from.
Oh, you got a new one.
I got a new quirk.
So it's definitely
I'm so
Tourette's.
autistic. It's not even.
No, you got
I got
Tourette's.
Tourette's. Is everywhere I go, every time I see a word, I have to make as many words out of the letters in that
Oh my God!
I become as obsessed with it, and it's kind of freaking me out. I mean, everywhere, every word I see, I'm like, and if I can't make 3 words out of every single word, I get mad. I was like, that word's got me. There's no way to make 3 words out of L-E-L-L-E.
I know what you mean. I do something a little different. I'll do a word like if I see the word bored, I'll go through the alphabet and go cord, dord, Ford, and I'll see how many words like actually like board creates out of the alphabet.
Like
not rhyme. Just
okay.
Just like okay, if you know, Zord, that's not a word. Okay, Ward, that's kind of a word. Like I'll do little things like that. But I think I think people do that all the time. I don't know
if they do. I really don't.
Quirky. We're quirky.
Yeah, it's a quirk kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like something that's just happened in the last couple months. I never
Just out of nowhere?
Out of nowhere. It's like, and I'm like, every word I see, I'm just like, and I'll be like, craning my neck. What was that word again? What's the letter?
Okay,
Because I got to make sure I got to get at least 3.
If you look at this and it says weed games on this thing in the studio, it says weed games.
Yes.
Do your thing. What do you do?
Well, if like I don't usually do 2 words combined. I feel that's not fair.
Weed.
Oh, that's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
Okay, that's a tough one. Oh, thanks a lot, buddy. You got wed.
Right.
You got wed.
Okay, wait. Oh, wed.
You got wed. Yep. You got we. You got you, like a lamb. EWE.
EWE.
That's a ewe. It's a female sheep.
Oh,
and you got do. And you got do 4, bitch. Out of weed. That's no easy feat.
That's pretty good. That is not an easy feat. That is definitely a quirk. You are very quirky.
I am. I'm quirky.
Especially quirky today. Quirky.
I think I'm. But okay. So you could probably go to a doctor and get diagnosed with autism because you took that test, so the doctor would come up with the same results. Ain't that a disability, buddy? Ain't that a disability? Ain't that a free government check for the rest of your life?
No.
Why not?
Because a government check, first of all, a government check doesn't pay dick. Like,
well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you move out of your house, you live on the street, you don't have to work, Matt.
Well,
you don't have to work.
In that case, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But it's not worth the, I don't think it's not like a risk reward thing. It's just like with adults because there's there's Reddit forums, there's a whole thing, and I'm going, oh, okay. Like a lot of it's, whatever. But
Donna's here.
Oh, Donna! Hey.
Well, she's probably just pulled in.
Shut up!
Shut them dogs up! Shut them dogs up! Usually works.
It did work.
What were you gonna say?
No, I'm just saying, but there's no real advantage again to getting diagnosed as an adult, because as a child, right? If you have it as a child, it's like, okay, maybe he learns a little bit different, maybe needs a little more time on testing, stuff like that. As an adult, you're thrown into the world anyways. It doesn't matter. No employers who
no.
It doesn't make a lick of difference.
I mean, if you would, but I was gonna say, if you're applying for a job and you say you're autistic, it's not a positive, probably.
Exactly. It's more of a negative than a positive. So at that point, you just kind of, I don't know, I think it's more funny than anything, to be honest with you. If
I think it's funny that you're quirky, as I am quirky as well, man.
It is actually quite hilarious how similar we are in some stuff. Like, for real. Like,
it is. I know you think you've been running a long con on me, But actually, it's been a long con on you, and I'm your father.
Oh no! Whoa!
All right, we'll see you next week. We got some issues to discuss.
How weird would that be? How?
I mean, that'd be a great story. You make a movie out of that. That's it.
Just in life, how weird would? I'll give you a good one. So, Aubrey Huff, right? He was playing at the time. I think it was in Houston, and he's playing. I don't know if it was Yankees or whatever, but they were up. The game is on TV, and this the announcer was like, I don't know. They panned to him, or whatever, and this girl was watching, and she goes, "Hey, he kind of looks like you." Like that's hey to her husband.
Yeah.
Like, hey, he kind of looks like you. And he's like, "Oh yeah, he does look like me." Well, she ended up looking him up, and it was like, Aubrey's father got shot and killed in a robbery gone wrong. He was a victim, right?
Yeah.
And so she ends up looking this up and going to her husband and going, "Hey, didn't your dad get killed in a robbery gone wrong?" He's like, "Yeah." She's like, "I think you guys are brothers."
Wow.
And it turns out they are. He had his father had a couple different relationships, but they didn't. I don't know, all that situation. But after all these years, like the guy is like an opera singer in New York. Like that's his brother, right? But they ended up meeting and bonding and having a great conversation, stuff like. But like, how weird is that? The chances that you see this guy on TV playing baseball, and your husband just happens to kind of look like him. And then you put all these puzzle pieces together, and then to reach out go, "Hey, I think we might be brothers." Like,
did they connect?
They did, yeah, they connected, yeah.
Do they? Like,
I don't know where it stands now, but he had said very nice things about him. Like, yeah, he's awesome. Like they went out and had a good time and chatted and stuff, and I guess they kind of look similar. I don't know.
It's amazing the two guys would become, extremely successful in, like baseball and opera.
Yeah, it's
genes. It's in the genes sometimes. It's in the genes.
Some people just have it, dude. It is funny. It is funny. I don't know. Do you watch the Grammys?
I was gonna boycott them.
Speaking of genes and people with talent,
I was gonna boycott the Grammys.
What are you, Jay-Z?
No, I like, they're terrible and the music is terrible, and I was like, screw all that, I'm not gonna watch it. And then we were like sitting on the couch. I was like, you want to watch like half an hour?
Oh, you caved.
Because if I didn't do this show,
you need to know what's going on.
It's like I gotta kind of stay hip.
Yeah.
And so we watched it, and unfortunately we tuned in during the it was like, what are the tributes to all the dead people?
Oh, that was terrible.
But it went on for like half an hour. It was like an endless tribute. It was like a half hour, and these slow numbers.
Even Stevie Wonder sounded terrible.
For Once in My Life is a good song.
Great song.
They slowed it down times 10. For once, it's like it's supposed to be for once in my, it was terrible.
And forgive me,
terrible.
And I get the Tony Bennett thing to a certain extent.
It's an icon almost.
But I'm looking at some of the other people that passed over the year. Mainly, I'll give you Jimmy Buffett, okay? Jimmy Buffett, I don't know the impact that Tony Bennett's had on the industry, but I'll tell you what. Nobody moved a fucking crowd like Jimmy Buffett, and they spent like 2 seconds showing his picture.
Yeah.
But yet, what made Tony Bennett, what made him so special?
I don't know.
I don't mean that in a bad way.
Part of the elite adrenochrome pedophiles. Maybe.
Meanwhile, Jimmy Buffett was just out there drinking beer and singing some songs.
I mean, if you think of Jimmy Buffett, the people that like Jimmy Buffett are so passionate. They're the parrot heads, and they follow him around, and they're legion. And he was able to start up an old
parrot heads,
Margaritaville
hotels,
restaurants.
Tony Bennett just wore a suit and a snap and sang a gotcha tune.
I don't know. He was part of the because why did Jimmy Buffett not really get his acclaim? Because his music was fun and funny. ooh, it's not serious. You know, Cheeseburger in Paradise. What an asshole.
Right. But like I'm not a Jimmy Buffett lover, right? But I can appreciate
I like his, you know.
I can appreciate his impact in the industry as a whole and in entertainment. Tony Bennett, fucking seriously?
I left
For real?
my heart in San Fran. I mean, that's like 60, 70 years old, isn't it? I mean,
Well, and who was the old broad that had sitting in the rocking chair up there? What was
oh my God, Joni Mitchell. See, that's why I watched it. Cause
enough already.
It's like she, you know, they, you know, everybody marks out to Joni Mitchell. And I can honestly say I couldn't give you one Joni Mitchell song.
I've heard the name.
I've heard the name,
And that's all I know.
I've heard the name
Yeah.
for years. I don't know what she sings, and she's got to be approaching 80. And you know, there comes a time, like, you know, some guys can sing in their 70s. You know, they still got decent chops. You get close to 80, and you just sound like an old person. You
Yeah.
know, and she sounded like an old lady just trying to, and it's like,
Well, here's
I
what
don't think. You know, you need to know when to bow out.
I looked at it and I go, this is her swan song. This is it. Because it reminded me of like, I think it was Johnny Cash years back did a song on, you know, one of those award shows or whatever.
Yeah.
And then a short time later he passed.
Yeah.
And it was a really moving performance that he did. And it was really powerful. But you kind of looked at the Johnny Cash.
Did it suck though?
It didn't suck,
You know, but
but
he
it
had-
wasn't.
see,
but he
he-
had a different style.
Like, he has a very distinctive voice, and I can't remember. I think it's a Nine Inch Nails
It was
song.
Hurt. Yeah, I hurt myself.
I mean,
today.
it's like it's very distinctly Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
It's old. You know, you can tell he's an old, but it's like it's got enough Johnny Cash where it's, you know.
But
I don't turn it.
but I
you
still
know, when
looked
that
at
comes
it.
on the radio, I'm like, this isn't technically good, but it's also
Yeah.
great.
Well, I
You
look-
know,
but-
it's Johnny, and but that Joni Mitchell shit was trash.
Either way, I looked at her and I go, okay, this is the new Johnny Cash, because I would place a bet in Vegas right now that would give her maybe another 6 months. I think that was her swan song, and
I don't think we need to do hospice at the Grammys.
right, like if you've got to sit in a rocking chair with the microphone all the like as I'm doing here now. I don't know. Maybe I
cane.
need to stand up. But yeah, with a cane and all that, like
It's like Dick Clark on the Countdown. It's like, no.
way behind the count. It was like at 1, and he's like 10,
It's like, you're ruining the whole countdown for everybody, Dick.
5.
And you couldn't understand him, and you're like, 3, 2, and you're like, Dick.
It was way behind.
It's terrible.
The fireworks had gone off. The party favor has been blown, and Dick's still like 3.
You know, you shouldn't put yourself out there. That's like an ego thing. It's like, no, it's time to pass the torch. The definition of what a host is, you are not.
Yeah.
At this point in your career. It's like, no. Go home and do that in your living room. Manson is best. Subscribe for 21 months. Thank you, Manson is best. Appreciate it.
Manson is the best.
Manson's best.
Manson's the best.
Dick Clark. Who else? What were we talking about? I forgot what we were talking about.
I don't know. But while we're talking about TV, a couple weeks ago we had talked about like shows that were terrible, just terrible
Like
shows
Big
on
Bang
TV or whatever.
Theory.
Yeah, all that stuff.
That'll get people get mad about that though. A lot of people like it's about science.
I
It's like,
know.
no, it's not about science.
But then, and then we were talking about the Golden Bachelor when we first started. Like for some reason,
Golden Bachelor. That guy turned out to be a dick.
Oh, I know,
He's a
right?
Scumbag.
Yeah, man.
Golden asshole.
Guy's the man. Turned out to be just another dude.
Yep. Con man.
Yeah. And I was thinking about shows that you couldn't do now, right?
Yeah.
In the modern day woke society, and just in general, that were kind of dick moves. And there was a show with Lorenzo Lamas. Remember Renegade? He was like a
I know Lorenzo Lamas.
Okay, so Lorenzo, not Renegade, the show is what I'm talking about, but he did a show with a couple other people, and they were models, and it was called "Are You Hot?" I think that's what it
Oh,
was.
I do remember that. I think.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? Like, okay, so the whole premise of this show was people would come out who thought they were completely sexy
Yeah.
and had great bodies and chiseled features and all this stuff, and then they would just pick them apart on
apart.
stage. And they had laser
my-
pointers. You remember the laser pointers?
yes.
Lorenzo Lamas is sitting there with a laser pointer, and he's going, "You have cellulite here, here, here."
No way they do that.
But I almost like there's no way they could do it now, but I'm almost to the point where I'm going, I wish they would bring that back so they could bring some reality into some of these people who think they are hot shit. Because it was sort of checks and balances.
Would be
You know,
good.
like everybody's an Instagram model now, and nobody's there to check them because you've got everybody simping out under the comments. Like they would always, all the girls do that thing like, me or PS5, and every guy underneath is commenting like, "You, of course, baby," or "You know what I would do to you." They're all simping, right?
Yeah.
At least that show, they were like, "Yeah, you're not all you're cracked up to be. Your tits are way off."
Fun.
Is that? Yeah, it would
They
be.
should bring it back.
Oh my God! But it was such a, oof.
No, it's.
I don't know if you could do that one
I
now.
don't think you can do. No, I don't think they would do it at all.
It was like the Tropic Thunder of TV shows.
Yeah, you just can't. You can't do it anymore.
I got to figure out more about that show and see who was on it besides Lorenzo
I'll tell you, I don't-
Lamas.
Lorenzo Lamas. That's nepotism, Hollywood nepotism. He had no talent. He was
Who were his parents?
Fernando Lamas was some old
Fernando Lamas?
Yes, some old actor that I don't know, but he was very famous, and so Lorenzo got his big break.
I didn't know that.
That's how it works. That's how it works.
I thought
That's how life
Lorenzo's
works.
kids got their big break because Lorenzo was famous. I didn't know Lorenzo got his break because very
Fernando
very
Lamas.
generational.
Fernando Lamas. It's the world is run by nepotism, but that's if you haven't a chance to nepotize, you do it.
Yeah,
You know who's not going to
I mean, dude,
Well, little Junior's not too swift. I'd put him in a family business, and he would be set for life. That's what you do.
it was Lorenzo Lamas, Rachel Hunter, and Randolph Duke. Apparently, were the judges.
I don't know who Randolph Duke is.
Me either. Guy doesn't even have a Wikipedia. Yeah, the nepotism thing's funny, and even I was looking at Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? And
Yeah.
and his kids, and it had two kids. It had one who is like this kind of chubby dude
Yeah, I've seen him.
who is, I guess, grew up more with like Maria Shriver,
Yeah.
and then there's the other kid who's just jacked, who I think was the bastard child because he had slept with the nanny and nobody knew. Everybody's like, "Hey, is that your kid?" And he's like, "No, it's not my kid," until the kid started looking exactly like Arnold Schwarzenegger
it
and
was
he
a
couldn't
long
deny
time.
it
It
anymore.
was a long time,
Yeah.
yeah.
And but that kid looks exactly like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I'm going, man, if you're the son of Arnold Schwarzenegger, all you have to do is just work out a little bit and he will love you and he will take care of you. I'm sure he's probably fine with the other kid, but I see him on bike rides with the kid who's jacked. You know what I mean? Like he's dedicating. It appears as though he's dedicating more of the father time towards the one who has an interest
Yeah.
in fitness and staying in shape.
Kids are different. Some kids are like you, and some aren't.
Yeah, I think he.
Like Trace is, I question whether I'm his father. Or not.
Oh, you're definitely
Weston's
his
a lo-
father.
Weston's a lot like me.
in terms of what?
Just demeanor, easygoing, nice, helpful. Trace
Well, what's
is-
Trace?
Trace is a psychopath. No, Trace is just. He's just Trace. I think he's got CTE because he took a lot of blows to the head. He's
From what?
football, riding motorcycles. He's had like 20 concussions.
You really think he has
He's
CTE?
I do. I think he does CTE.
He's
But,
just
like,
he's just quirky.
he's super quirky. He's
got
super
quirks.
he's super quirky.
That's not CTE. He's
He's
quirky.
The main thing about him is he has no concept of long-term gratification.
What do you mean by that?
Like he
Help me
can't-
understand what that
there's
means.
Nothing. He can't do anything and work to something. He's got to have that right. It's got to be right now.
So it's all
It's gotta
instant.
be right. Yeah, instant. He's got to have instant gratification. That's his main thing, and that's for too many blows to the head.
But isn't that a cool way to live?
And like the way he's living now, sometimes I look at
Just
him.
short-term thinking
I'm
of
just
like,
man, maybe he's got it down.
yeah.
Maybe he's got it down. I mean, his kids, there's kids are doing well. I mean, he's being a good dad. Maybe he's got it down.
Is it like a goals thing or a life thing or a financial thing? Like because he's just a happy spirit.
He's a happy-go-lucky.
Isn't that the best thing you can be though? Is just a happy-go-lucky dude. Like who wants to walk around with grudges? It's
No, yeah, he's very happy-go-lucky, and he like his wife is very similar to him, which is great and not great.
Sometimes you got to have a yin and a yang.
Yeah,
You got to have some balance.
Donna and I are like the ultimate yin and yang.
Yeah.
It's like
but it works because you got somebody who
works,
put you in check.
And I do things she can't do, and she does things I can't do.
Yeah.
And like I'm the calming influence, and she's the riling influence. So
And then Trace, is he calm or is he a hothead?
he's calm. He never gets in fights or nothing.
And then Weston?
He's calm too.
Well, then they're both.
No, they're not.
It's all good.
I'm just saying, Trace is just not like me. He's just not like me.
Would it be weird if you found out, like, if Trace, let's say he got arrested for like a domestic violence, right?
Yeah.
Him and his wife get into
Yeah.
a tiff or whatever. Like, would you be like surprised by it, or would you go, Trace? Like, how would you react to
I
that?
would be shocked. He's not like I can't even imagine him ever hitting.
I can't either.
Yes.
He seems so.
That's like, me and Donna got into some heated, I've been together for 40 years, and there was, perhaps she, came at me with hammer fists.
Yeah, a little fist of fury.
And perhaps I took some hammer fists, and perhaps I may have pushed her away. It happens.
Self-defense.
But I would never like hit like that. That's not even in my realm. To hit my wife in the face. It's like, there's no fucking way.
You got to be a real dick to do that. Like, for real. Because
I can't fathom it.
I think if you're a guy, I've seen some videos online and, a couple, I get it. I don't get it, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just more of the type of, I would just step out of the situation, right? Like, if you're in an apartment, you can go to another room or you can leave. So, there's got to be a better way than to have I feel bad because we use Trace as this example, but he has nothing to do with anything. He didn't do anything.
Why are you gonna be so violent, Trace?
God, Trace. But the domestic things are always weird because it makes you look at somebody completely different after they catch a domestic charge.
Yeah.
It's like, oof, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I just can't. Like, if I caught Donna, I walk in the house and she's banging some guy, I'm still not going to punch her in the face. I'm just going to say, oh, well, guess we're getting divorced now. Nice to know how long you've been doing this shit, but I'm not going to punch her in the face.
Dude, there was a case over in St. Pete the other week, and it was a teacher, and him and his wife had an open relationship, and she had been banging this dude, and he was like, hey, I don't want you banging this guy anymore. And she's like, well, too bad. I'm going to keep doing it.
Oh, that's not good.
And then he walked in on it, and he was like, hey, get out of here. And then he shot the guy, right? And I think he's in critical condition or something like that. But the crap of it is, so you had this open relationship, and you think it's going to work out swimmingly. As we've discussed before, they usually don't.
Yeah.
But more importantly is this guy now shot another guy over banging his wife, which he was okay with in the beginning, but then all of a sudden didn't become okay with it. And now he's sitting in jail, likely for, 20 years, if not more, because of that thing. Like, I wonder if he's sitting in jail going, maybe the open relationship thing wasn't a good idea.
I'm thinking he is.
Maybe I should.
Thinking he is. It's it's all well and
It's
good.
a weird permission slip.
It's all well and good until your wife starts finding somebody she really likes to bang.
Like a connection, yeah.
And you're like, well, I'm kind of bangless right now. You know, the open marriage ain't work. And she's like, yeah, I'm off to go bang the guy. Yeah, and that ain't gonna work.
Oh, it was in his house too. That's the thing. Like it was in their house.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's like, you know, yeah.
sad. You're not even allowed to watch.
Right?
You just.
Did you shut the door on the guy or something? I don't know.
No, it's not. Yeah, I can't even fathom.
Ah.
Emerson Johnson gifted a tier 1 sub. He's gifted 1,107. Wait, correct that. Emerson Johnson gifted another sub. 1,108 subs.
Is that good?
It's a lot.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Thank you,
G-ball.
Emerson.
G-ball.
I don't know how any of this stuff works.
I don't either. I should probably learn. Trace once came to me. He's like, we're not doers, and I was like, oh, you're right. We're not doers. He's like, we're not doers. And I'm like, yeah, we're not doers.
We're not quite worker bees, but we're not quite the queen of the hive either.
Drones. We're drones. We're the drone bees. They're the drone. All we know is a fancy little dance to tell you where we've been.
Dude, bees are fascinating, man. They get that queen's back no matter what.
I think the bees are smarter than us.
It is fascinating. I was listening to Rogan a couple weeks ago. He was talking about they did a thing on Fear Factor back in the day, and it had to do with bees.
Yeah.
And they had brought down all these bees for this stunt on Fear Factor, and all of a sudden, these other bees like popped up out of nowhere, and they're going, "Hey, what are you bees doing here?" Like basically like a turf war.
Turf war. Bee turf war.
But nobody on set knew what was happening. Like all of a sudden, these bees are just face to face. And I think if I remember the story correctly, they were kind of like going, "Hey, we just got to let the bees figure it out." And everybody kind of stepped back, and the
8
bees.
miles. It a bee 8 mile.
Yeah, it was a bee 8 mile, and the bees sort of worked it out. And then all of a sudden, this whole thing, the whole bee gang just jetted and to never be seen again. And then they continued on with their filming. But it was almost like they had to have some sort of turf war negotiation. But you're right. The bees, they're like,
more advanced than us.
Yeah.
They figured it out. It's like, all right, we get it. You're here for a Fear Factor deal.
Right.
We'll be back. Make sure you're not here 24 hours. Yeah.
Meanwhile, our queen, Joe Biden, was like, bomb them.
Bomb 'em.
Like every queen, no matter who it is, would
matter
just be
who
like,
it is.
bomb them. Doesn't matter. Bomb them.
So, yeah, we talk about that all the time on the show. It's like maybe we just had the fortune of the brain combined with the thumbs, and that's why we're, maybe like Trace is like always like, you ever see a crow killed in the road?
Oh man, the murder of the crows.
No.
They all,
They're too smart. They like crows are really smart, but they're limited in what they can do.
Yeah.
Because they got talons and wings. You can't build a factory. You can't build a Tesla if you got talons and wings.
We had to save a bird over the weekend.
Oh yeah.
We were at the beach, and all of a sudden this bird is like up on shore, right? I didn't even see it happen, but this lady takes her flip-flops off, and the bird was just hanging out by the shoreline. Lady takes her flip-flops off, whatever, uses them as like kind of like makeshift gloves, and we're just watching it, and we don't know what's going on. And she brings this bird all the way up to way beyond, up in the sand, right? And I'm like, hey, we should go check and see what's going on with this bird.
That's what we.
Just a compassionate thing to do.
That's what we do.
And so we walk over there, and we're like, hey, what's going on? And she goes, I don't know. Saw the bird down by the water. Didn't look right, so I figured I'd bring it up. And that was all she said. And then she continued to watch the sunset, like nothing ever happened. And meanwhile, now we're stuck with this bird. And we're going, well, we can't just leave the bird here. Like, it looks hurt.
A big to-do. You just got yourself into a to-do.
A whole to-do. So an hour and a half later, we're Seabird Sanctuary over in like Indian Rocks Beach or whatever. They send a volunteer out here. The whole thing.
This whole thing.
It's a loon is the name of the bird. I don't know anything about loons.
I don't either.
Right? But what I do know now is that if you see a loon by the shore, you don't pick it up and move it to the sand. Like loons, occasionally they'll go down by the water to take a rest, but they don't go on land. They don't have legs that are equipped for that.
Yeah.
They've got, they got swimming feet.
Just messed up that loon's life for no reason.
Exactly. So this lady thought the bird was hurt, took it further away from the chance of it being alive any
He
further.
couldn't walk back. It was like no chance of walking back to
Exactly.
the ocean. It's like, I can't. He was like, hey, where we going?
Yeah, exactly. So this loon was stuck, and the lady from Seabird, she was like, "Thank you, you guys did the right thing. This bird would not have made it another 24 hours. Like you, she
Because
was
that lady tried to murder it.
right. Like she kind of tried to help, but not really. Like
that's why they don't want people helping, because people are really stupid.
And I don't want to help either. So
I don't either.
But it got us into the whole thing. But if you ever see a loon, just leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
And she was like, "You're not supposed to see a loon. Loons are out in the ocean typically.
Yeah.
They're out far. That's what they do. They come in for a breather. Just let them be."
And he was so exhausted he couldn't fight. He's like, "Where are you taking me?" I was just trying to rest,
Yeah.
Because they fly, forever. They fly forever. One time, we were on vacation down on Anna Maria Island. We're at the city pier, and some kid caught a gull, and then he just cut the line. So the gull's, he's like about 50 yards away, hooks and everything.
Yeah.
And so Weston, takes off his shirt, dives in, and he's swimming to get the gull. And I'm on the dock with my family, and there's people there. And this guy goes, "Look at that guy! That guy's amazing!" And I was like, "Man, I've never felt so proud." And then we got involved in a whole to-do.
That's the rub, right? Because you want to help, but boy, this is really setting things off schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to call the sanctuary, and then you got to drop the seagull off.
And then she
But,
goes, well, then also
gotta do what you got to do.
yeah, and they were great, but in reality, they have a drop box. But in reality, we don't know what they're going to do with these birds. We have no clue what's going to happen. You can do all the nice things in the world for that animal. It's almost like dropping something off to the vet, right? If you got a squirrel, let's say, with a broken leg, and you drop a squirrel off to a vet's office, and you go, "Oh, I feel terrible, this squirrel." And they look at you and go, "Oh, okay, we'll take care of it. Thank you." And you leave. Yeah, you as a child, you don't want to think that the vet is going to just murder that squirrel. But as an adult, now I'm thinking to myself, why would they help the squirrel? They would just kill the squirrel and just move on with their day, right?
It's just a squirrel.
Or any small sort of I don't know where the cutoff is of where they actually start to help or not.
It's a cutoff.
But yeah,
like the dogs get a squirrel, which they don't get them very often, but occasionally they'll get a squirrel. It's not a big deal. They get a rabbit, and a little more sad.
yeah, it's
A
definitely
little more sad. They to get if anything bigger than that, it's a tragedy. So it's it's like ants could be the smartest thing in the world, but it stomp them. They mean nothing because they're so small.
Meanwhile, we're all just ants on it's deep, man, but we're all ants on a hill. I was looking at this giant ant hill last week, and I took a little stick, and
It's fun. Yeah,
It is fun, but
Destroy their house.
not destroy it, because I don't want to do that. But what I did do, there was not an ant to be seen, but a giant ant hill.
Mm-hmm.
Take a little stick and just a little poke, just a tiny poke. Boy, they all get in a frenzy, dude.
Yeah.
It's like everybody comes out wait, who's fucking with us? Who's doing? And they all gang it's a
Fire ants don't mess around.
It's a fire drill, right? It's a crazy.
As soon as they hear, who we gotta kill somebody.
Yeah, they're all looking around and tripping out, and then it causes a big to do. But I could imagine being an ant and being in that mound of going, okay, so now we all gotta. Something just touched our house. Now we all just have to go run around. What do we do now? It's a high thought, I know.
I think they know what to do. They're like, let's go get whatever it is.
But you can't get me.
Well, they try.
I'm standing over them with a stick. I'm winning this match. I'm winning this battle.
Yeah, and then they get on that stick and they'll start singing the hell out of you. I mean, when I was younger, I used to pour gas on fire ant nets and then set it on fire and watch them burn.
Yeah.
That's what aliens will do to us, and that's how they'll feel. They'll be like, yeah, watch them humans burn, because they'll feel so superior to us.
I was thinking the same thing.
So quit sending stuff out in space. Come to our planet. No,
leave us
gonna
be.
Kill us. We do. I mean, we're as primitive as we are. Every time we find something, we like kill everybody, kick them out, and take all their resources.
That's true.
So why? Yeah, I think that's what the aliens are going to do to us.
Yeah, we're gonna get our
We get our just desserts.
Yeah, something's gonna go awry.
I want to know about the Tucker interview.
Oh, whether it's up or not?
Whether it's up.
Yeah, that to me, that's like a thing where you make some popcorn and watch it.
I think you just got to go to Twitter and see if he's trending. Nope, he's not. So it ain't. Oh, Putin's trending. That's kind of low though. Let's see what it says.
Pooty.
Oh, it is. Oh no, that's not Tucker.
That's yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It must not be up. No, it ain't up because it'd be all over. Yeah.
Oh
it's
man,
not up yet.
Well, eventually we're gonna see it.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be
awesome.
Awesome. About Toby Keith dying.
I think he had stomach cancer.
That's gotta suck.
It's gotta suck.
I say that like not in like a joking way.
No,
like, that's gotta suck, right?
Like, how long? I got the cancer in my gut, and it doesn't feel good, right? That should have been a song. Is I got the cancer in my gut, and it doesn't feel good.
I don't know. And then the King's got cancer, right?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck that guy.
And it's very important.
Prince Charles.
It's very important that he has cancer, but everybody else is that like I looked at that and I go, okay, he's got cancer just like a lot of other people.
Mm-hmm.
And so what are we going to do about it? I mean, we're clearly not going to find a cure anytime soon. So what are we doing here? Like,
I don't think they're trying to find
that
a cure.
exactly.
Like, I mean, the more and more, it's like they're doing the same thing they've done for like 40 years. Is they're going to bombard you with radiation, and then they're going to try to, they're going to give you toxic chemicals that almost kill you, but it'll kill the cancer and hopefully not kill you. And it's like, it's obviously a business model because. We ain't so. How many? I would venture to say billions have been donated to cancer research, and you never hear dick about anything getting cured.
And what if it's something as simple like for example, the Ozempic thing, where it was made for diabetes, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, we can use this for weight loss, and that becomes its primary sort of function, right? Just as an example.
Like
what
Viagra.
Like what if there's something out there that's already on market, and it's like going, oh wait, that was for, I don't know, whatever, asthma,
high blood pressure, anything,
and it actually cures. I don't know, like.
Well, funny you should say that, Matt.
Oh,
the National Institute of Health has issued quietly released papers showing that ivermectin is a miraculous treatment for cancer.
Yeah, I can see that.
And you obviously heard that on the mainstream news and Fox, and see they've been touting this. No,
they bastardized it.
They're not going to
seem crazy.
They're not going to report it because cancer is probably one of the biggest businesses in the entire country.
And I was speaking of ivermectin, I was incorrect. Your wife asked me the other week if my wife had taken ivermectin, and I said I didn't think. I thought it was something, but it was something else.
Yeah,
but it actually was ivermectin. What she took, and she felt great. So yeah.
Did she pull a tapeworm out of the toilet?
I didn't see any tapeworms. Or I didn't know about it, but she said she took it. She felt energetic. It just a lot of energy, clearer thinking, whatever, just cleansing of the gut sort of thing.
And what did they demonize as horse dewormer when it's a freaking FDA approved drug they use all over the world to rid people
river blindness. Think about river blindness. They have something that can cure river blindness. Like that to me alone is insanity. How can you bastardize something that can cure river blindness?
See, I like to say is like this used to be a gotcha. It's like, okay, well, the entire media demonized and humiliated people who would use ivermectin, and it turns out that it's got so many uses. It's such a successful drug. We gotcha. Ain't no guy. No.
You know what it
Ain't
is
no
now?
Gotcha. No gotcha.
You know what it is now?
What is it?
It's a fun fact.
It's a fun fact.
That's all it is.
It's
It
a
all-
fun fact. It's
Going back to the fun
It's a
fact.
fucking fun fact.
Everything's a fun fact.
It drives me crazy because there's no, you can't. There's no gotchas. There's just fun facts.
Fun
and
facts.
Nobody cares about your fun facts. You're like, I got a fun fact, and they're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, when you used to be good, I gotcha. Look, it's black and white. You were wrong, 100% wrong, wrong. No,
Oh,
it's
so ivermectin does work? Oh, that's a fun fact. That's fun. Thanks for letting me know.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. Stomach cancer. Oof.
That's got Toby Keith.
What do we know what the king has? What King Charles
I
has?
don't think they like he had an enlarged prostate,
Oh,
and so they were treating that.
I hear that,
Oof.
player.
Oof.
Oof.
So they were treating that, and they just
My prostate's large.
the largest prostate.
I'm trying to milk you, my king, but your prostate is so large. I don't know who that was. That was a weird impression of something.
The jester. Did they still have a jester?
I'm the prostate milker.
Yeah, jester. He doesn't actually do anything but milk prostate. First Prince Andrew, and then King Charles.
I'm here to milk the royal prostate.
Probably a pretty good paying gig.
To milk the royal prostate.
Milk the royal prostate. So he had an enlarged prostate, and they were treating it, and they found cancer. So the guy who receives hundreds of millions of dollars a year for being born with a certain name
Yep.
has cancer.
Yeah. So,
And I
that's
couldn't
the
give
thing.
a rat's ass.
I don't necessarily care about it. I mean, I feel badly, but that's the thing is like, okay, if he's got cancer, like surely anybody can get cancer.
Well, anybody, yeah.
I mean, that's
There's nothing you can, I mean, because he gets, the best.
the finest of
physical-
everything.
of all.
Yeah. So it's like, but then you see those people, like, it is also, I don't want to say kind of funny, but it is kind of funny where the king gets cancer, but then you'll see like a 95-year-old homeless man who's just eating trash for the last 70 years, but he's just feeling great out there on the streets. And you're going, well,
It's the genes.
how did he do it?
It's the genes. I think, I mean, they were, back in the day, they probably inbred like crazy, the royal family. So they probably got bad genes. You could have a guy who smokes and drinks whiskey
Yeah.
and lives to 105 because it's all in the genes, man. Like my one grandfather lived to be 93. My dad lived to be 80. 88?
Nice.
I'm thinking, yeah.
Nice.
I started.
You're good.
I started smoking crack when I heard that. I was like, yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm good. I do
That's
whatever the fuck I want.
Would you ever smoke crack? In your later stage in life,
Like I've always like Donna gets mad at me because I'm like, as soon as I turn 80, I said I'm starting to shoot heroin. She's like, why you got 80? I was like, I'm 80.
you've earned it.
I'm probably like in pain, constant pain. I'm 80 years old.
Would you really? Okay, when you're 80, would
No,
you?
because it'd be a bummer. I bet it would be horrible. When when you get old, take things as well. I don't think I'm smoking crack at 80. If like I don't think.
So you mean
I
because
don't
the
think I
body
could-
response?
I think you're just gonna be miserable. But I think I could smoke crack, and
yes, folks, this is a real conversation we're having.
I think I could smoke crack and then never smoke crack again.
No way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
It's not like some super. I've done,
Apparently it is. That's why it's crack, and that's why there's crack addicts. Like, there's no way you could just do one and done with crack.
Why?
I dare you.
It's like
I
coca-
bet
it's-
I bet you $5 crack rock says you can't do it.
like cocaine is addictive, and I've done cocaine, and I have no desire to do cocaine.
How many times did you do it?
Like about 3 times in my life.
You were only
Am I-
planning on doing it once, and then
No, it was like years apart. Years apart. I was, it was like the '90s, and until somebody says, "Hey, hey, sure."
that crack's got to get you though, man.
I don't think it does. I think it's just addictive people, addictive personalities.
Boy, if you're an addictive person, you got to
Because
choose
like
something
opioids,
better.
have you ever taken opioids because of a surgery or something?
Yeah,
I have too.
Yeah, I hated it.
And I had no idea, no desire to ever do opioids again. And I didn't, maybe if you got a bad back and you start taking them if I had a bad back that was excruciating and after 6 months, I'd probably be addicted to opioids. But that's a different kind of thing. I could easily, I've done opioids many times in my life, and I have no desire to do them unless I'm in pain. They work good on pain, man. Them opioids, they work great. Like, you got surgery and your right knee is just exploding with pain. You take that opioid, ain't no pain no more, man.
Dude,
it's awesome.
So morphine would be where it's at when you're old, right? If you're an old man and if you had a morphine drip, that would trump crack, I would think.
I think that's when you're old, I think morphine is the way to go.
So then maybe replace the heroin thing that you plan on doing with your 80 with
morphine.
A morphine drip.
I'm game.
Yeah, do that.
Totally game.
Stay away from the heroin when you're 80.
I don't know, morphine, heroin, fentanyl, it's all
Fentanyl.
It's all the same. It's all as soon as I'm 85 is my fentanyl phase. That's when I'm in my fentanyl phase.
That'd be great. You had a goal each every 5 years going, okay, here's this drug phase. All right, and then I'm going to stop this one. I'm going to do this one.
And see if I can make it.
Yeah, see what happens.
I might as well be doing ecstasy. I mean, why don't you want to be in ecstasy when you're 80 years old?
I haven't done ecstasy in so many years, but it's got to be better than ever. It's got to be cleaner than ever. I mean,
do they still make ecstasy?
Yeah, but it's like pure MDMA now.
But is that different? I think it's different. Trace said that like the pure MDMA is not as good as ecstasy.
I don't know. That's how long it's been for me.
I mean, that's why the drug was named ecstasy. And who doesn't want a drug named? That's like when you're old, they should give you an ecstasy drip. I hurt. I'm old. I can't hardly get out of bed. Give me like an ecstasy drip so I can, like ketamine. You can get ketamine now. You can get it through the freaking on the internet.
I feel like ketamine's the next one where they're going to sort of start legalizing it or something.
And then a bunch of people are going to OD. Like Matthew Perry was on legal ketamine.
There's a lot of people that do daily,
but I mean,
a little bit of ketamine.
They give you a bottle of 50 ketamine.
Yeah, if you give an addict 50 pills, they're gonna do 50 pills. Yeah, but I think the ketamine for real, because I've listened to a lot of stuff where people would just do daily, just a little microdose of ketamine, and it's. I don't know.
Psilocybin. I don't know if ketamine's included in that. Is great in like if you suffer a tragic loss. They say that really helps people overcome that because
they're high as a kite.
Because they're like
too numb to think about the pain.
Too numb to think about the horrible thing that I'll take that.
Which hey, whatever gets you through.
If I suffer a horrible loss, I'm going for the mushrooms immediately.
Right?
Immediately.
I'm with you. It doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Oh, I gotta pee like a mofo. So
wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in to the Hang with Mike and Matt.
It will be available for download on Spotify and TuneIn and Apple Podcasts and Google and all that kind of good stuff.
It'll be up on YouTube, banned from monetization.
Perfect, just the way we like it.
Twitch videos. So thanks for tuning in. We appreciate everybody that's supporting the show. And we'll be back for a little VIP deal. And have a good one, man.